housing, it's one of the basic needs, and there is a lot of things that is going around, which is sometimes factual and sometimes fictional. So we like this platform so new people can get to know what housing is actually and how it functions actually and what is its aims, our objective, and what are our roles and responsibilities, and where we can move forward and where we are unable to satisfy needs of people. So, housing service is under FAMC. It's one of its subgroups. And it tasked with the responsibility of allocation. I hope everyone can hear me. Allocations and maintaining, keeping the houses in a better maintained, better maintenance. So these are the two main elements of housing. Earlier, it was also involved in development, which is now in the hands of Auroville Town Development. Of course, we give them the feedbacks, the needs, requirements from housing side, but it's completely with the ATDC, Auroville Town Development Council. So when it goes gradually, since we took office, we have been refining the process to bring in transparency and accountability with the limited resource numbers of houses that we have. புரியலன்னா யாருக்காவது சொல்லுங்க, ரைஸ் பண்ணுங்க, நான் தமிழில் சொல்றதுக்கு ட்ரை பண்ணுறேன். the same. ஓகே, புரியலன்னா கேட்காம இருக்காது. So presently the ATR, ATSC for newcomers and volunteers especially, they are in close collaboration with us. So whenever we have a confirmed volunteer or applicant or newcomer applicant or Aurovillian applicant, the file comes to housing service through ATR and ATSC. And we are not engaging individually because that was creating a lot of confusions. So, of course, we welcome people to write us so that we know we are expecting this many people to come in. That is in line with ATR. We know the ATR file is coming, but still, when an email comes, we know. But for general residents of Auroville, we would want them to write to us first with their requirements. And we would be sending them a form to fill in with their updated information because a lot of informations are changing continuously and we don't have proper database on individuals to see how they satisfy the criteria requirement for allocations. First come, first serve is one thing. If we have a lot of houses, then it is becoming a criteria. But how long are they in housing? What is the need for them? If they are in a single person, wanting a couple space, how do we bring them in? If they are a couple and staying in a smaller place, how do we prioritize them? So there is a lot of elements within the criteria points that we have to check before the person is allocated the house. That is one. But this allocation is not happening only on the table of housing. It is getting discussed in a joint meeting along with the FAMC, ATDC, and ATR and ATSC. It is a joint meeting where all the inputs and elements are brought in from these various groups to assist us to come to a proper or at that moment a clear allocation approval.
Yes. And at the same time, for each person's housing, you're having all the groups decide for each individual housing?
Each individual housing request. Because for housing, it has a certain information And when it comes to other groups, they will have certain other information. So we will have to correlate this information so the allocation can happen in a more agreeable for all. That is the allocation part. But when it comes to newcomer and volunteers, once we have the files from ATSC, ATR, saying that these people will be needing houses, then we are giving them a promise of a house. That is, when this person becomes officially a volunteer or is approved as a newcomer or as a Aurovillian, then we know this house is marked for them. If we don't have, we will tell them we don't have any houses as per their requirement. If it is a family looking for, at that moment we don't have a family house, we'll say waiting list, we don't have houses. So this also gives us how many number of individuals or requirement is there for us to communicate with ATDC for their own planning. This is how it's going. That is the concept.
2 members, Sugar and me, and we manage all the requests from leaking, door locks, everything. And we mediate with the contractor, with the carpenter. And one thing that we request for the Aurovillian and newcomer to create an ID Auroville email, because all the all the communication with all the service in Auroville can be with Auroville login, not with Gmail, Yahoo. We don't accept the other maybe for the first time, yes, but we don't accept the other, because also repair team has a form to fill, and in this form we can enter only with Auroville login. In this form, the first thing that we ask, the work. In Auroville, we have to work, everyone, and 35 hours per week. It's no vacancy, Auroville. It's a hard work, and we are to respect the guideline of the mother. The mother said, also Sunday, if we need, we have to work. For example, now for us, it's work, and it was the period of pause. This is the request that we need. We don't accept some work like I work in Matrimandir. Yes, you work in Matrimandir. Let me know the document, the certification of the work. How many work, how many times, how many hours you are working. This is compulsory. And after we proceed with the maintenance of the house. One thing also that we need to understand, that the house are not our property. No, we are only users. But we have to maintain the house. Many times arrived photo of house full of termites, full. And the first question is, but why until now nobody? For 4 years I lived in Anasuya forest, and a little house on the ground on the forest, and sometimes some little trace of termite come. immediately I crush the part of the termite, and with a little synthetic vinegar, I try to. This is for the termite, but for everything we have to control our house before the big issue. And this is the little rules of the repairing team that explain the to the newcomer, but also Auroville. A little anecdote. One time arrived an email. I have the lock, I have that, and after the photo of the net of the spiders. But come on, this is it's no maintenance. This is to maintain the house clean. Why you ask me to clean the spider's net? But really, I was in surrender. No, yeah. This is a little gossip, but to explain that we have to maintain the house. So other things can be. We have a lot, many problems with the leakage. You know well from the top, and we try when start the good season to repair, but it's minimum 60% of Auroville that has this problem. And we have to adjust this situation. This is my opinion, only my opinion. I don't know why in a tropical climate with 3 months when maybe can be always raining, we make the rust and not like the native.
It's so noisy there.
Ah.
Don't understand the verb.
Oh, sorry, I speak. And so we have this problem of leakage. All the people, I say, patience. We have to wait the sun, and after we try to adjust for all, because the fund that we have is limited, and the costly is very high. Yeah. I don't know if there is some question. I am here. We are here to.
Before we go into the question, I wanted to explain that there is as assets, houses are assets of Auroville, and it is not private property, and any contribution made for housing is a donation to either create asset or to maintain it. This is the overall concept. That is where we come for the contributions of housing.
I
And
wouldn't say it's a donation if it's mandatory.
well, we can look at it, but as we are in the loop of not sufficient funds, we have to raise a fund to maintain the houses. It may look mandatory, but the concept of give and take is not there, like profiting in this sense here. So it's a contribution asked to maintain the house where an individual is, as it is a collective asset overall.
How is that maintenance shown in real life? How do you maintain the house?
Maintenance of the houses, we are not going to come and, like Pierro hinted, that people, if they say like I have a cobweb here, please come and clean. Maintenance is how the structure is maintained. If there is any damage in the structure, then these contributions which are pooled in a place is used to maintain that house.
And then you send a team to come and look at it and fix it?
Yes, as we'll go into detail. A person first sends a mail saying like there is certain issue. Then the repair department does the site visit to assess what it is. They bring a report. Based on the report, we will see what is the priority to take. Prioritize the requirements. And with that, we will go with a technical person to assess the site and to come up with the cost. The cost is estimated and the work is carried out either by the in-house small team or given to the contractors, Auroville contractor. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
There also one question. So, units, like for example, if they crash, they have a problem at the building, they can approach house, or like if there is a leakage, or a unit in a different.
Units are in a different system because it's not resident fields.
It's no our issue. But in any case, the donation, me too, I pay the donation. But this donation can be for maintenance the house. For example, my situation now is almost 1 year. I pay 4,500 for my house. I am single. I have 36 square meters completely with the bathroom and kitchen. And now I use this contribution for my almost. I think I have 45,000 rupees. This kind of donation, correct? No, I can use only for emergency. No, I can use. I have a leakage. I have the leakage from the roof. I have something in the bathroom. This money is not only a donation. It's also help maintain the house.
Another question. So, for example, I live somewhere and there's a problem where I have the choice either to go through and go to all the friends, or I say, oh, I can pay it myself, so I'll go, hire myself people to repair it.
For yeah.
Not a choice.
For maintenance.
For this, there are both the elements of allocation and the repair comes in. We have house sitters, house carers, volunteer space, newcomer accommodations. We have certain categories. And newcomer volunteer spaces are directly under housing service, so it will take up any repair, structural repair needs to be done. We will come in automatically. When it comes, housing will automatically take up when there is a complaint raised about repairs in the volunteer or newcomer or youth or these facilities which are directly under the housing service. So there are other houses that are house users, that is with the hands of the in the residents. We call them house users, and we have house sitting, house sharing agreements with other residents. So those requests has to come and we will follow through the process that I explained earlier. We discourage people doing things on their own. Mostly because there are things that they are not aware of. They hire someone who's, either competent or not competent and then do the work, and sometimes we end up facing a larger issue than the issue that they have asked for, fixed it. So this is why we ask, you please bring it to our attention. We know what kind of repair has been done, what has been changed in the house. If we have in the future something to do in relation with that, we have to know. We have to be in the know. And we also have to know how much of fund and the follow up on the repairs.
One thing more. we don't accept changing in the house. Because the house is only temporary, also for me, for Banu, for everyone. So every house, every asset can be the same, maybe renewed, but the same. 2 hours ago, I had, can I make the washing machine? Yes, you can make, but I have to make a hole in the wall. No, this is impossible because maybe tomorrow you find another house because you are a family and we have a house changing. So no accept, we are not accepted every personal solution. No, it's correct. No?
Yes, I mean, he has given a washing machine. We also see that people, for their own need, they are modifying things, and the other resident moves in, and then we have to redo it, demolish and redo it. All this is happening. So we better, it's better to approach it. So we will see what is best solution, and because these are revolving and not, like.
In any case, everything can pass from our office. And other things we don't accept, but you say people that make work and after arrive with the bill, I make painting, I want refund. We have to know before all the process, and after we can say yes or not, but we have to know before the work every time.
In the house sitting situation where there are residents who are house sitting contract or house sharing arrangement, they think that there is a fund accumulated in their, against the asset, and they will do the repairs or do whatever needed by themselves, and they'll come back for reimbursement. In that sense, we are saying please don't do that. Of course, the fund is collected for the maintenance of the house and not to reshape for personal preferences. And we have set off like what is can be done in now, if you paint this year, after 3 years or 4 years, we can redo the painting if there is funds available. But if every year we are saying like, I don't like this color, I paint. Then you come to us saying like, please reimburse. These are the things that we face, and we are saying, no, you let us know. We will come and assess the site, see what is required, and the funds can be used from the collected from the pool. Yes, she has been raising her hands.
I have house sharing, house sitting. It mix between the steward and me, and I'm a carpenter and I work craft, so I made many things. So I don't want a refund. But is it important that you know that it's in a better shape, the house?
Yes.
That you know this?
Yes,
Okay,
but
then I
this
can
work
tell.
has been done on this house.
Yeah, so new handrail, new rain gutter and all this.
The asset, the structural addition, it's better that is being recorded because our database is also evolving all the time and there are some changes.
Okay, and I will tell what I have done last year. I don't want to talk.
So for me, it would be helpful to have, like a real verification of what we can do ourselves and what we have to approach out in. Because spider problems is more a funny thing. But there are small things I think, for example, like one day the toilet water or the dirty water was not running away anymore, it was coming out, and for sure I just called someone to make it because I cannot go also the weekend, I cannot wait for housing and so on because it's really disgusting. Or one time also toilet fully leaked, water running in my bathroom. For sure I was calling the plumber to have a bathroom again. So to give us a better verification what we can do ourselves. I also did not approach you to refund you the money. And there we have to approach housing because we don't want us to solve the issue ourselves. Also, my roof had to be cleaned from leaves so it's not leaking anymore. This has to be done like in the next 2 days. If I wait 2 weeks, I have 2 weeks of rain in my house. You know?
This is a good example you have already given. Having the space clean, the terraces clean for monsoon that we have been posting it on Oronet. It's a general upkeep of the house, right? That is on the residence hand. You don't expect housing service to come and clean the terraces. But for emergency cases, there is electrical shock. There is, like you said, plumbing. Clogging of toilet and whatever it is coming back. So all this, if it is happening over the weekends, please drop us a mail saying like this has happened, I have done this. So we are in the know. We are not asking you not to wait for us until Monday to address this issue. These are emergency, real emergency. Please drop us a mail and get this done. If on a working day, please let us call us. We have our own service providers, that is the Portus Water, Auroville Water Service, electrical service, who are there, who are going to take up this job as an emergency immediately.
But in any case, remember always that every maintenance, emergency or not emergency, okay, is some emergency also, but we need to know if you are working. This is because if there is some case, they arrive with the complaint because something is not working, and okay, fill the form. I have some problem because in this moment I don't work. Appear now. Say sorry. Patience. Find the work. Find the certification of your work, and we make the maintenance. This is a compulsory situation. We need this. The evidence of can be real Aurovillian. The real Aurovillian can work for the city, for the service, everything that is useful for the city, for building the city. This is one.
It is required for allocations or repair that the individual satisfy 35 hours of work in a registered approved entity.
Yeah, approved entity from FMC. We cannot create a unit so without approving of the FMC.
So what we face is I'm independently working. So it's a question that comes back to what is that independent work contributing for the community, what it is implying for the growth of the community. I have a passion. I want to pursue my passions. Okay, I can do on my own. But when it comes to getting supported by the community, we also have a reciprocal requirement that what is it that the community is getting out of it.
So in this case, do you see case by case, or you have some criteria of what counts as working for community and what doesn't count?
It's simple. If you have a unit, for example, can be recognized from FMC. If you are working in a unit, no, you have a unit. You work in a unit, be recognized from FMC. No, don't exist independent. Don't exist.
So independent that is not accountable anywhere cannot be taken as that is being part of the requirement.
Also because normally independent work I take the work and I put the money on my pocket. It's not the myth.
But I think anyway, we are newcomers. We all have working that otherwise we won't become newcomers.
That is there. It is mainly, for, sorry to say this, Aurovillians, because most of the time through ATR, newcomers and volunteers are little bit having the discipline to have that 35 hours. But when it comes to Aurovillians, of course, yes, we are enthusiastic. We want to follow our passion. We want to do this. We like this. We agree with this. We don't agree with this. A lot of this do's and don'ts and preferences comes in. That is where we have to be, request, not sometimes demand that they provide us with this kind of information so that our database is also updated.
Yeah, I also had the same doubt because I've been there like for 4 years, around 4 years now. And whenever the question of how many hours is asked, like it feels weird for me when I come from my context. So I'm also curious, like how much percentage you see like that? Because I'm assuming most of us belong to this category, like where I am now, like properly registered name, like I'm processing also. So when every time the document is asked like where are you working and the number of hours, it feels slightly, is it needed how many times? This is third time like that. So I submit once in ATR, once in housing, once in repair. So is it like really a big concern? Like
It's a concern because day to day there are changes. Today they are here, after 2 weeks they are somewhere else. And they go to the ATR and ATR is not, they are not informed. We have a set of documentation. And if person changes and not anymore in this structure, then we don't know what is happening. So the communication is to flow. If the communication is not flowing to any of the groups, then we are in difficult situation. So when we ask ATR, they are saying like they are working here, but no, we got a email saying they are working there. So there is no relation between these two. Then we start the cycle again. Hello, paper, hour, all this comes.
Yeah. Another situation, maybe for people elder like me, we don't admit the retired profession retired. In Auroville, don't exist retired. If I am not able to work, it's okay. But if I have 75 years, in Italy, I am retired. Of course, here, no, I work 35 hours per week. So there is people in Auroville that the profile there is retired. It's not. Maybe I don't work in the farm on the ground, but I work on the desk. I go around the house to see the maintenance, what we have to do, but I have to work. This is a compulsory if we are able. And so retired don't exist.
We also face another issue that comes very often on our table is the non-Aurovillian spouse part.
Yeah.
So most of the time they are not registered. We don't know. As Auroville service, we are focusing on the Aurovillian and not on their guests. So this brings a other challenge. So I come with my husband or wife, and they are not registered in any of either volunteer or newcomer, no registration. They're just using all the services, the house and everything, and they expect us to support that. This poses a challenge for us because we are looking at the Aurovillian, what their commitment is, all this.
Yeah.
See, a resident has to be here in Auroville 9 months a year, staying and working for Auroville. Then they become eligible for housing.
how many months it has?
9 months a year. And if it is not, then the absence are calculated and see whether they are to have a house after. If they are all the time out, and the house is being
Dogs were chasing.
We are talking
The
about
cows.
The house is either is empty or it's with somebody without going through a proper channel. This is another major issue we see. People engage themselves, enter into a contract themselves with a house user, an individual who is living or staying there. Everyone's address needs to be with us for address purpose. This person is having a valid agreement and staying inside the house. For in Auroville. This is required, and this is why we have to officiate any arrangement like house sharing or house sitting, and not entertaining the idea of I'm just staying with my friend. It's not working. It won't work.
So is there a policy where they cannot be a spouse that's non-honorable, or that's still allowed?
So we can't force people, but they have to register themselves as permanent guest of Auroville, and then they have to make a certain contribution, and that involves individual contribution and housing contribution.
So what are they expected to do ideally?
Ideally, they are making financial contribution.
But can stay as the spouse.
Yes. Sorry? No, it is the guest contribution. If they are here for a short time, then they are getting registered as a guest, general guest, and they are paying 150 per day. If they are going to be here permanently, then they have to make a contribution to the central fund and the housing service. Depending on the availability, we will have to see.
Yeah, if you
Our preference is number of Aurovillians.
Regarding housing repairs, I had requested for some repairs, and then I tried to follow up for 2 or 3 weeks, but I think there were other things on priorities. And then I stopped following up, but I don't know whether it be done or not. It's just like
Department.
Yeah, the repairing all is every repairing. I don't understand the question precisely. Did you ask?
I made a request on the form that we like name and scope of few
And nobody replied.
Should I get it done?
You received to fill the form.
Yeah.
You fill the form. Oh, it's my your name. Sorry, yeah. Yeah. About sorry, now it's personal. What?
My team in my place told me that's really something please.
Okay. This afternoon with my iPhone, I saw this. Okay, Monday, Sanjana.
Please remind us.
Yeah.
We are crowded with many things. Sometimes we overlook
One thing.
things. Send us a reminder.
We have we have about 1,500 house, no?
Yeah, 1,700 plus.
7. And every day we receive minimum 10, 15 requests. We are only two to absorb all the information. And after we have, sometimes we make some gap with patients because also because the Tortus water service for the plumbing inside the house, it's only one person. And for all. Water service is for the pipeline outside. The house are more people, but in any case, so we have two patients. Also myself, if I have some problem in my bathroom, I know that if I call Nagapan, the plumber, maybe don't come tomorrow, maybe from 3 days.
Mhm.
So this is, you know well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this brings me a question now. Like, is there a need to expand the team? Maybe more people in the repair team. Like, why not you consider that?
It's not only for us, also for all the other, also for this water service, but it's not our, we
Yeah,
cannot
then looking
decide.
into administrative, why it is
Yeah.
not possible and how other constraints
Yeah.
that doesn't allow us. That is being looked at, and that's why we are taking the services of other service providers like Portus water service, electrical service, and sometimes if they are too occupied, then we are also hiring from outside.
But in any case, it's in the scenario, if we improve the city, can be, of course, other people, other office, other service, no office, other service. Now we are, because for 3, 4 years we was starting, we was stopped for some problem inside Auroville. So, and if we return to the problem of work, so why we have to work 35 hours for a week? Because we have to create a very good economy. And we have only 50% of agricultural product from Auroville. We have a lot of therapists, a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, but after, what is the money that arrives in town hall to manage other portus, other... This is in Italy we have the serpente that the more the victim, the snake that take the tail. Yeah. We have to understand that we are we are the actor of this city, and we have to work, we have to make circulate the money, we have to find the good situation. I cannot explain well in English now, but in any case, we have to understand that we have to work for a good economy, for agriculture, for everything, for the service. Sometimes I have friend Aurovillian, yeah, I looking for work. Come on, make a request to housing set. Oh no, 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 no. I was photographer for 40 years, photographer in Rome, in Italy. 1.5 years ago, I decided for other situation to stop. I was very, very happy of my profession. I had a lot of equipment, professional, about 30,000 euro of equipment. But for one situation is long enough, I was forced to stop my profession. For a moment I was in a drama. Oh wow, now, and after I realized, okay,
Lately, you may hear that housing is going and taking and all this information, what are they doing? There are a lot of situations which we have to act. People are not there. They occupy the house, they sublet the house, they use the house, in a different manner, how guest houses, while we are struggling to accommodate people. So it becomes our responsibility. It is part of our task,
Yeah.
our responsibility to eliminate such anomaly situation and to give the house to the proper use. So there is, again, we'll have the process and procedure that is a part of those repossession of the house for reallocation. It happens.
Sorry if you addressed already in the very beginning. My question is, before it was the situation that after the newcomer process you have to seek new housing or different housing. I heard this rule was changed or doesn't exist anymore, so that people can stay on in the newcomer housing now, or
For the time being, we are still holding the newcomer, the categories of assets. Because as we are facing the shortages, we still want to have the possibility of having a revolving setup where the assets, gets the usage of the assets revolving. If we are stuck, we assign the newcomer house to the newcomer on a permanent basis, then we will end up in a very dire situation where we will not have any house anymore. So now what happens is either some gets empty or we repossess for reallocation, or it's a house sharing or house sitting arrangement with friends or other people, so that this thing we have a rotation of assets to assign. We are still keeping it until there is a breather space for us.
So after newcomer, we are ready to go to another house.
Yes, if it is available. We are also extending if it's possible, but if it is not, we are also saying it's not it. I mean, we can't now allocate a different house, and they can continue for some time more. And then when we find, then we are shifting them. There's a lot of work, back end work that goes on.
just to clarify, you are more flexible now?
We are more flexible.
Still try to keep it system.
We want to get out of the system, but we,
As long
yes,
as you need to.
yes,
Housing.
yes.
What is the long-term solution you are looking at to solve the housing problem?
The development part of housing is not with the housing service, it's with the ATD, which has its own parameters to follow. Right now we have one new project that has been finalized and it is waiting for the funding elements, which will have house around 300 residents. So you would be hearing that from the ATSC ATR.
Where would that be?
It's in the residential sector one, near
No.
not
Sofio, no? Sofio and
Sofio,
Yes.
So.
that area.
Newburgh. Oh,
Newburgh.
Do all Aurovillians have housing in Auroville, or are Aurovillians also in waiting list?
Yes,
They're also in
they are also in it. Right now there are some kind of arrangements they are in, but that needs to change. Sometimes like a family is stuck in one room, studio apartment, because and we have to find for new people to accommodate.
So
in a
will the
family.
process will be paused until there is enough housing, or the process will go on?
That is a question for mostly ATR and ATSC. For us, when it comes, the file comes, we are saying available, not available. And we always, say like, when you have a possibilities, please take it. Don't wait. Otherwise the next in the waiting list will be assigned.
So the waiting list of priorities goes in a way of date chronology, like when they applied is when they get.
I have two questions. First one is, can you still buy a house? Like, is it possible to, like, if somebody is selling their house or something, is it still possible in it?
First of all, we don't use the terminology
Bye.
buying and selling.
I don't know how. I'm sorry. Sorry. I don't know.
It's always a contribution
Contribution.
which is coming to sustain ourselves in this housing requirements.
Okay. And the second question is, since you talked about shortage, I see a lot of empty.
the first question?
Yeah.
You didn't answer.
Is it possible to buy and sell?
No, is it possible to?
See, every house allocated comes with the contribution.
Like, but
Minimum.
bulk, like how
There is no bulk that has been discontinued.
And how, what kind of contribution is not bulk?
It's a monthly contribution. And as we said earlier, we have the allocation process. Houses are allocated on a monthly contribution basis.
But before there was a different system, no?
Before it was a value-based transfer was happening, and we don't want to continue that.
And the second question is, I see a lot of empty houses or like rooms, and the stewards don't want to give it, or they don't want an agreement. So like, I mean, there are a lot of my friends who are stuck with that. Because of that, they couldn't apply for newcomers. So how are you going to take some action, or is it going to be settled down, or what's going to happen?
I'm getting part of your question, but not the other part.
Yeah.
Of course, there are spaces within the residents who hold spaces like extra room and all. We would appreciate if they come forward and then they are willing to share the space. But sharing the space is also very difficult. Preferences clash. We have sequences, cases where after 3 months they come and say, please find me a house immediately. We have situations like that. So, come on. So we encourage house sharing, and we say 3 months agreement, and we will see if everything goes well within these 3 months, and they can continue. So if this thing has to go through housing, it cannot happen on an individual level. You can't come and say, Pierro, you have an extra room, I will share with you.
No. I mean,
Okay, then Pierro says, I'll go to housing, get it officiated.
What if they don't want the housing to get involved?
Then all the other things are on the. You understand, right?
I get it.
But so you have, sorry.
Is there some mechanism to optimize the occupancy of allocation? For example, if there's a 3-bedroom house and one person's living there, there's a 1-bedroom house and there's 3 people living there.
Yeah.
Is there a conversation about that?
Yeah.
We have initiated that conversation. We have got all the data required, because there's a lot of human element involved here. The conversation does not go as we expect that, okay, there's 2 rooms extra, somebody can come and stay. Then the other thing is, when they are also, the residents are like reluctant to include people because they have other experiences, so, and they have lived in the house. We can't simply throw them out in the, sorry to use that word, here you change from this one to that one. There is a lot of emotional elements, individual elements that we have to look at. But we have, of course, started the conversation. We actually welcome people, like if they have a larger house, to come and voluntarily see what is possible, where we can shift and all that. If that would be nice.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. I think Kumud has been waiting.
So, each house is. You can answer her.
Your house will be later.
So each community have houses and there are people living there. And so I like to educate myself. What is the role of community for maintaining the houses? Is the role of this any power given to the community people itself, where they maintain things and not every time go to housing, some small power given to them? Any system like that?
There are a couple of communities that are functioning very well. One Puti, Sanchit, Sitadin, and Kalbana. They have a centralized management of their own small. But allocation of houses, who is going there, is entirely resting in housing's hand. Because we don't want to keep engaging with communities, feedback, neighbor feedback. We already have limited resource. Then comes the question of the neighbor has to approve, the community has to approve, and then the one sector of the population is become not having a proper housing, where the other is having elaborate other way of accommodation, finding other ways of accommodation. It was not giving a space for bringing in transparency. Transparency in allocation. So we have removed that element of getting feedback from the community and the neighbors. Of course, after all, we are here for unity. If you can't have conversation with my new neighbor, then I'm questioning the whole point of, what is the concept of unity.
Is there something for like, if you have a community that's very family oriented, like with kids and noise and energy, but then you have someone who wants to maintain a quiet lifestyle, something, is there some like, accommodate interests or lifestyles?
See, we can't actually, at this moment, have preferences like that. Of course, when there is a family oriented, there's an elder. We can also look at it like this, that the elder gets supported from the family setup, or the younger is getting whatever input or experience from the elder generation. It needs to be coexisting in different layers. If you isolate ourselves with this element, then we won't be going very far, I think.
I have to confess that sometimes you affected by this demand of because I come from the outside world, let's say. And if you live in the real world, in Germany, you will face this problem. You live there are older people, younger people, babies, vegetarian, not vegetarian, and it's just normal for us to accept it.
Exactly.
It's just normal. You only go like, please don't make party after 10 or 11.
Exactly.
And here, I feel like the demand of the outside world to make a lifestyle and not telling no just.
Yeah, that's a very good point. We face that all the time. This guy is, having music. Occasionally he may play it, but then complains. Complaints after the complaints after the complaints. They're having incense stick. Gosh, how many incense stick complaints we have?
And we're complaining about the neighbors in the forest.
Yeah. We do. But the tolerance and the acceptance is limited, and everyone wants to have most of them. We face request of single standing houses, no neighbors, big garden. These are requests. Of course. And they don't want the road closed. They want it a few hundred meters away from their house. If this is available right now for this, no, road is too close.
Make underground houses.
Sorry? That we can't avoid, Yeah.
Going forward, after the Newcomers community program, what are the possibilities of where we can go or find place?
Anyway, you will come to housing. The file will be sent to housing from ATR when a applicant, newcomer applicant, or an Auroville applicant, that file is sent to us for a promise of the house, as I said earlier. So when we have something for our kids, yes, they'll be given, okay, they can go to this, or they can continue to stay there for the time. Hoping that the crisis, which is going on since 2009, I think. Yeah. So from that period onwards, housing is a limited short commodity, and we have to always come up with some alternative, innovative arrangements.
I have a question. So, till the time we get allotted a newcomer house, can we just stay in the village? Because I've been living in a guest house, for example, for 2 years, and now the newcomer contribution getting deducted, I can't afford the guest house.
See, this is the question that ATR has to answer, because we don't, we are not the body that agrees or disagrees where the newcomer should stay. They want to stay inside Auroville, it's our responsibility to provide that. When there is available. But if you're staying in the village, if it is okay, it is for that office to agree or disagree.
Suppose I'm here in Auroville, I'm living in a newcomer house, and somebody from my place wants to visit me. Suppose my mom that wants to come and visit me. Are they allowed to stay in the property that I'm living in? And what is, I just want to know, is it right? And what contribution is required, or do they also have to participate in doing something here? Short time or long time? This is the first question. Second question is, suppose I become Aurovillian and now I want to have a house. What would be the step if it can be shared? Like, this is the step, or this is just the fund that you could have.
So for your first question, if it is a short-term stay for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 month, you need to register in the guest service, and there is a contribution that's needed. Then you will have to go through that process. If they are going to stay permanently more than a month, then they have to be registered as permanent guest of Auroville. One thing, and they will have to get involved in the community, volunteering or something like that, or other options.
Yeah, for permanent guests, you need to reach out to HRS. We will send out a form to you, online form. We fill that up, and that form is forwarded to ATSC. Sorry, they will go through it, approve it, and send it back to us, and then we will set the contribution or whatever. That's it. That's for a permanent guest.
Yeah.
But for a short-term guest, as Banu said, you need to register with the guest service.
When you are an Aurovillian, of course, when the beginning I said, no, when you become an Aurovillian, again a promise of the house is given. Until then, you will have to continue in the same place, or you will need to find an alternative depending on what is the situation.
So you become an Aurovillian, and still there is housing crisis, and there is so much in future. So if the community allows you to build a place, small one, is it possible now, or do we have to wait?
No, it is not possible. It has to go through HDC and the planning, zonal planning and everything. That is a different topic altogether.
Okay, so it's not very.
So it's not possible at all to, like, suppose 4 or 5 of our friends, like from here, from Newcomers, want to build a wood house, because I see a lot of wood just going waste sometime. I feel like, oh, I can have a room, I'll build a house for myself, I'll build a small community. If it has to go as a process, as a proposal from this small group at some small place, within the policies and legalities, it's not at all possible, even if it is.
I think you need to go to ATDC and approach them if you have something, and the location. It all depends on other parameters. Yeah, other steps and processes and the zones and the locations and all that. Better talk to ATDC if you are having something.
It has never happened like that? Like, nobody has.
Earlier it was like, I want to put up a proposal for housing, and we are friends, we join together and we say this location is looking. What it has done is, it has created, as per my understanding, disturbed the zonal plan. In the residential zone, there are certain kind of densities required. So in that, if you are having some 3-4 in a area where it should have 10, 15, 20. So it was for that reason you better approach ATDC, even though earlier there has been permission. Now ATDC is working to make that density managed. 450. I don't know, that's
As today, it has been a very informal exchange. Already Q&A has already initiated. So we decided, let it just continue, and they will let us know when it's a wrap or question answer is over. Then we just wind up the session. So this session will go without a break today, because as it's just.
What are the rules of that? So gosh, we are saying no dog policy, because it's becoming difficult. No, when you already have neighbors complaining about incenses, imagine dogs.
come here and do the other Jihadi stuff.
We will say if it is available, you can house a pet. I mean, pet. Sorry, that is how I see it. Most probably. Sorry about that. If the accommodation has the possibility have pets, yes. But if in apartment style accommodations, we are saying no, we can't accommodate. If it is not possible, we are openly saying sorry, we can't accommodate. There is no accommodation available. Because we face a lot of issues with dogs, and they don't take care of it. They are not, how to say, vaccinated and all these issues, and the neighbors, they're scared. When we want them to respect our wish to have a pet, we also have to respect the other person who is not so comfortable with dog, or any other animal. So it's a mutual understanding or mutual way we have to respect each other. And we are saying, as we are facing a lot of issues with dogs, we are saying dog, residential, sorry, no.
They come maybe once a year, like that Sunday, but 3 days they come in a year, maybe they come once in 2 years. But like you said, they're not stepping forward to give for house sharing, they don't want to give. So, I mean, can we approach you or can you do something and approach them and say,
We welcome. Please give us that information. Sometimes that information is what is lacking. So if you know something, you please bring it to our
I
attention.
know like a house there but not being used? I have nothing to do with that house. But someone told me that it's there. I can tell you and then you can allocate it to someone.
Yes, please. And there are
This will be helpful for HRS also to follow their in and out.
Friends of Auroville, there are people who have houses and
Yeah.
they're maybe not out of any bad will, they're just not connected, they're not thinking about Auroville because they're not just.
Exactly.
So,
So when there is an empty house, please let us know. That will be very helpful for us to, do the next steps. What it is, why it is empty. And sometimes, we need to go in and we'll find that, the huge gap, cracks. And maybe that's why it's not being used. Maybe it is up to demolition. We don't know. So any empty structures, if you come to know, please inform us.
Yeah.
If an Auroville is living, how long can the house be empty? Maybe, for example, and not coming back in.
See, as per the new policy, it is 9 months a year or otherwise no. So we are giving a little bit of leverage on timing and we are asking HRS
Yeah.
to see, if there is a real need for them to be out of Auroville. So
They
with
inform
their
us.
permission, we are
We give-
extending the duration.
That means for 3 months, the house
3
can
months.
be empty officially.
Yeah.
Maximum 3 months.
But it,
No, not
we have
empty.
no, it's
not empty. Please.
That's my
not
Yeah,
empty.
they have to inform us there is a short duration volunteer or Aurovillian or newcomer is posted there. Even for that 3 months, please don't leave the houses empty because after 3 months we get a house which is totally in a damaged state.
That's my question. How long can a house be empty?
If you have a friend to look after, maybe 10 days is okay. But if it is more than 10 days, 15 days, you please inform us. We will try to put somebody in that house.
15 days.
Usually when you are leaving, when you're empty,
In any
leaving your
case.
house, you need to inform HRS.
Yeah,
when
in
you
any
leave.
case.
So that information is collected and it's forwarded to housing.
Oh.
So housing is aware, once they are aware, they start the process by allocating to a newcomer or a.
This is valid for foreigner and Indian, for all.
For all.
Oh, for all.
Always.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always, if you have any friends who take care of you.
If you have a cat, needs feeding.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's fine. You just tell your neighbors or your friends to take care of that house for that period. Yes.
Finish.
I have a question.
Anything else?
You want to check this price. Something worth more than you will. That's the house allocation.
after working for a group, if somebody decides to start something of their own, which is happy about it, could be contributing to the.
As long as it is in the administrative registered part of Auroville, there should be no issue.
How does it impact the housing allocation? Does it impact?
No. Whatever it is in line with what is required. A registration, if you can follow your passion, as long as it is coming within that parameter of registration and everything, there is no issue.
ATR in charge. ATR. At AMC. If you want to initiate a small activity, let's put it that way. It has to be with defense.
So we wrap up. I hope.
Thank you.
One thing before, one thing we have to raise.
Can't hear. Can we all keep quiet?
Is a dream of the mother. We have to love Auroville. And for love Auroville, we need to be very sincere. The sincerity inside us. When I hear, no, this work is not for me because I like other, it's not correct. In Auroville, we have to work where we need. After our skill have some how can I define some issue, but it's not only this. We have to love this initiative, this dream of the man. We have to create this city, and we have to be proud of this. For your situation, newcomer, the first moment, maybe it's almost to adjust. But this is the skill that we need. The love, the sincerity. Without sincerity, we can say that I love all, I want the human unity, but it's not real. If there is no sincerity inside us, all these words are only blah, 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 blah. We have to see every day ourselves on this mirror and, oh, who are you? This is the suggestion that I give you because it's important.
And to end, please write to us, whatever it is. If you are having a good experience, write to us. Sometimes most of the time we are getting bombarded of not working. Sometimes when it works, please write to us. And if it is not working, still write to us. That helps us to improve.
Yeah.
Any misunderstanding that can be cleared. It's not. We want to work one-on-one.
What's the email address?
Housing.
Housing Auroville Orientation.
If we want to have something, we want to mail or they come and
We have on Wednesday walk-ins. Rest of the time we want to, there is an appointment.
Yeah.
So you state the reason, what is it, then they will accordingly give you an appointment.
Thank you.